Hello YouTube friends, welcome to the Red Parrot channel. I am your host, Mary Ellen. This episode is a Thrifty Canucks Thrifty Thursday. Thrifty Canucks hosted by Kim at Images by Kim. Hello Kim. And Thrifty Thursday is hosted by Sherry at Turquoise Dreaming. So some of this is thrifty, some of this is just shopping. And there is a smorgasbord of things that we need to get to. Okay, top of list. Look what has arrived. This is the glue that I will be able to keep working on the coffee journal with. And this is the OK to Wash It Aileen. So this is the current one that's empty, and this is the new one. So I am going to do off camera the gluing and possibly the sewing in of the signature. And then we'll be back to with all things being equal, the creek don't rise, we will be able to get to finishing off the coffee journal. So very excited that this has arrived. Next, let's see, I need some paper. I always need some paper. So this is just so that you can see some of the contrasty colors. I need another piece of paper. Let us do this. This is the back of an envelope. All the best ideas come from the back of an envelope. So one of the things that I struggle with when I do jelly plating is color matching and balancing. And I have somewhere, which I have currently misplaced, which is par for the course, a color wheel. And so the color wheel, not a huge surprise, is a wheel. And I think we do it this way. We do 12 this way, and then this way. And so you would have the yellow, blue, red, and then you have orange, green, purple, and then you have the mediums of the mixes of those two. So yellow, orange, orange, red, red, purple, blue, green, yellow, green. And so what I did to understand better the colors that I had, I did this color wheel on a large piece of newspaper, used my handy grease pencil, drew this, and then placed all my yellow paints in the yellow square, all my green paints in the green square. If I had some orange red, I put some there. If I had some yellow green, I put it there. And then at the end of that exercise, I looked at my color spectrum and see what colors I bought a lot of, and then what colors I had not bought any of, just to be able to give myself some more balance. So I didn't have any blue purple, didn't have any orange red, didn't have any yellow orange, had a huge amount of pink, was running out of red, and I had more brown, gray, black, and like silver white. Then I knew what to do with. I keep buying brown and black. I have no idea why, and I don't purchase the colors. The other thing that I was looking at was shades. So there is shade is the color plus black. Tone is the color plus gray. And tint is the color plus white. So I didn't have any of these light colors, not very many. And these are the ones that understanding this variation will also help us do some color balancing. Anyways, long story short, I bought some more paint, and here is the paint. Another thing that I'll notice and pass along is I always date the month and year of the paint that I get. I can look at some of my paints, and some of them are like 2019, and I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I should probably throw those out because the paint has lost its constitution. So got this green. So I'm just going to put them kind of generically in the color wheel. So got this green, also got this green. This was the one that I had run out of, and it's grass green, and this is Americano aloe. So they are sort of two nice medium greens. I got this one, which is the ever popular cadmium yellow. While it says cadmium yellow, this matches the yellow-orange color wheel almost perfectly. Also on that side, I have Canyon Orange, and this is not an orange, but a red-orange, also matching the color wheel almost perfectly. This is a folk art, and it is Engine Red, Rouge Foncé, and this is just to replace one of the reds that I have. I have this beautiful cherry red that I'm very sad that I have run out of. What is this? This is a deep midnight blue, and I also have this one, which is Royal Navy. So this is a blue, and this is a blue purple. So there we are. This is Wisteria, which is a light purple. And this is a gentle heather, and it is not pink, it is a light violet. So we are filling in all of our blanks quite well. So I don't have yellow, yellow-green, green-blue. And this, I have no idea where this falls. This might be in the green-blue. This is a color shift. It is called Blue Flash. Cindy at Studio Lou kept on talking about color shifting, and I had no idea what she was talking about because I am nowhere near as experienced or educated in art as she is. Anyways, I saw this and I went, oh, that's what she's talking about. So think of this paint as kind of like, you know, you get those oil stains where there's more than one color in it depending on how the light hits it. So I decided I would get a blue just because I want to play too. So those are, whoops, oh, crash bang. Those are the colors that I've got. And I am very pleased that I was able to not just go and get color, but go and get specific colors for specific needs. And so for grins and giggles, if we can do this, maybe we can, maybe we can't. Oh, yes, we can. Yes, we can. There we are. So those are all the colors that I got. And the next step is going to be to figure out, are they a dark, medium, or light tone? Because that's also really important. And I am working behind the scenes on a methodology to be able to figure that out. I think I need some tape first, but we'll deal with that in another video. So we've got paint, we've got glue. What else did I? Oh yes, so I picked up my stuff at my auction, which was super exciting. Got 5 things. First thing is I got cat cards. And I'll bring them up close. So I have a white cat and I have a black cat. This is completely unopened. A lot of people wanted, is it this? Yes, a lot of people wanted the cat cards. But I wanted them more, and so I got them. And I'm very pleased to have cat cards. So we've got those. This is a sampling of the postcards that I got. And so happy to have these as well. They're currently being, I have a large container that has some baking soda in it to take out some of the, a bit of a musty smell, but I mean, this one's fine. Some of the other ones are not. There was 3 groups of postcards, and somebody was hot to trot to get all three, and I wanted this one in particular because it had the most travel, the most picture location images on them, which I really appreciated. So I like this one as well because there's a shape to it. Oh, and there were a lot of them that, so look at all the ones that have got messages on them, which I think is just really fun. Fun to include something that's got a bit of a message on it. So we've got that. This is a sampling of the Pilo stamps. And so I have been doing some sorting of the stamps, and these are, stamps come in two different types. There is definitive and, definitive, and what's the other one? Oh, I can't remember what the other one is. This flew right out of my head. Definitive are like your basic, for Canada, it's the Queen heads. It's the ones that just get repeated and repeated over and over. Commemorative, this is what these are. So these stamps will commemorate something. This is Dr. Cook. This is field hockey. This is Christmas. This is some First Nations art. Christmas. This is Commonwealth Games. So they commemorate something. And then there is a whole other kind that are just definitive, and they are your basic stamp. They don't really commemorate anything. They might have, you know, a wildlife picture on them, which is not anything in particular. Queen, Parliament Hill, things like that. They're not as spectacular as these. So I am doing a sortie sort, and this is just the Canadian ones. There's a whole bunch of definitive ones that are Canadian, and then there's international ones, and then funky stamps. And the reason why I wanted them, which is they are funky stamps that have been, the stamp is still on the paper, and I really like the look of that. So I got that. Then I got a bundle of ephemera, and I have since gone through it, and there's just some ephemera that is too far gone. It's not what I'm looking for. It's just some basic stuff, not necessarily the things that as a junk journaler I am interested in. It clearly came from a farm, and I would say that because there was tractor information that wasn't vintage. It was just like 1980s, here's tractor information. And some other things. So, but hilariously, 3 first aid books, which I think is really an insight into what it is to be a farmer. Farming is a dangerous occupation. There is a lot of heavy machinery, moving parts, things that can kill you, chemicals, machinery, animals, whatnot. So that there are 3 of them in this bundle makes me think that not only is this one, I think is, yeah, this came as a premium from Century Insurance, and just a first aid thing. This is the course for St. John Ambulance, and probably in the 50s based on how people were dressed, which I think is kind of fun. And then this is sort of the hardback. And this one has a date on it, I think. Doesn't have a date, but it has the price. And I'm sure if you're in the UK, you would be able to tell me what that is. 3/2 1/2Ds. I don't know what that is, but it's a something. Anyways, so this one comes from the UK. And this one looks like it's been... well, they all look like they have been kept, and this one looks like it's been a little bit abused. So we've got that. Next one is the safe use of industrial power trucks, which I think is kind of fun. And this is another thing that makes sense for having a farm. Then I have no idea where this came from. I don't know. Oh, yes, I do know the dates for this. So this date is copyright 1910. Anybody who has seen me work on the coffee journal will know that I struggled to find some cows. This just made me laugh and just sort of wiggle with delight. So this is torn from a book. It might be a dictionary because there is a couple of pages every now and then. These plates are bananas. They are so, so pretty. Look at that little baguettes. Sorry. Those are horses. Those are dogs. Here, this is the thing that makes me think that it's like from a dictionary, because it's attached to this in terms of dogs. And again, this is all from the same book. It's all 1910. Beautiful, beautiful plates. Look at that. Fruits in their blossoms. Like, oh. A lot of pictures that look like that. Coat of arms and flags and whatnot. Look at that, the modern dairy. So I think what they did was they went through this book and pulled out the color plates. So they were doing junk journaling before there was junk journaling. It's flags of all nations. Some fizzy fish. Purebred fowls. Some chickens. Any more fun ones? Coat of arms. This must have been from the United States because there's some state specifics. Stamps of the world. This is marine life. I suppose we could put this in about in alphabetical order. So here's another place that they've pulled out. Again, I think it's part of the same dictionary. And then Peoples of the World. So that was super terrific. This batch of stuff, this whole, the collection that I'm just showing now, not all the stuff previous, was $3.50. This was worth the price of admission to me. This next one, which I think also proves the point or supports the point that it's farmer or farming based, is what the farmer can do with concrete. And really interesting font and some fun pictures of concrete, but also drawings and whatnot. A lot of stuff you can do with concrete, apparently, if you have a farm, which is kind of interesting to me. I have farmers in my family and know literally nothing about it, except that I know nothing about it. I can do some general identification of some of the more popular animals. Oh yes, okay, this one was fun. Important paper file. And so this is for taxes and insurance and so on and so forth. This paper is really, really pretty. I love the shade. The envelopes are so nice. And so there's, how many? 3, 6 envelopes, and then 2 tracking cards, and then the binder to go with. And there's a second one. This also has got some gorgeous paper in it. Also a beautiful color. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 envelopes here and 1 tracking card, I think. So So those are also really pretty. I like those. We're gonna put that. I'm gonna put that over there. There we are. And then this next pile is just what I would call some ephemera. There was other ephemera that was just, like I say, too far gone. This is from a National Geographic. Why do I know that? I know that because National Geographic, there we are. So they used this National Geographic and they tore this one up. They very specifically did. Look at these ads. These ads are amazing. So I wish, and so I probably can find this out, what issue this came from, what the date is. This is the flower pageant from the Midwest. And so we can have a look, a looky-loo. And this is another, basically, National Geographic plate, set of plates. It's old, oldish. It smells a little bit, so I'll need to do the baking soda treatment on it. And if anybody knows any other useful ways of just pulling out some of the musty smell, happy to hear them. So this is just really, really pretty. And I'll get back to you with a date on what these might be. Oh, it says copyright National Geographic. So basically they just pulled out the collection. So if I'm looking at what she's wearing, which is part of this, I'm going to say 50s. This looks kind of 50s-ish too. So this is probably vintage, not antique. This, however, I am almost certain is antique because of the cars. And so this is just some advertisement for a Ford. This is 1922, the Literary Digest. And this is not in the best of condition. There's sort of watermarking and foxing and so forth, but the ads are really fun. Look at this, Underwood bookkeeping machine as opposed to a typewriter. So just a lot of super fun information. This is a beautiful map as well of China at the time. There we are. So we've got that one. And then this one is called the Motorway. This is there a date? I'm gonna pull it up to my face to see. Might be on the inside, just by the design. This is Art Nouveau fonts and this style here. August 3rd, 1905. So this is definitely Art Nouveau. And just more of the same in terms of, like, look at that. Look at the edging of that. That's just so beautiful. And then just pieces of, so touring. So it must have been that there was at the, I guess, the dawn of the automotive phase, books and magazines like this, where you can get information on, here's your car, here's how to run it, here's where to go, all that kind of stuff. Look at that, a Rambler. Does anybody know the little Nash Rambler? It is such a fun little tune. A total earworm, so do what you will with that information. But all these car ads, look at that. So beautiful. Fisk tires. Look at that. Gasoline commercial vehicles. Like that's just, might not be a commercial vehicle. Or we would howl, I guess, at it. And these are some more bits and pieces. So this is probably advertisements for Florida, Miami Beach. This is 100% an ad. Look at that. Scotch oats. Neve Food. Wrights coal tar soap. Wow. That's a thing. This is pulled out of something. Hog watering devices, as you will. And so this, and this. Oh. It's a signed print, sold for $4. And this is also a signed print, sold for $4. Really pretty. And then this is not a print, this is a photograph. And it's from somebody. Oh yeah, the Transit of Venus. So the Endeavour, it's probably the ship that they used to do the transit. There was a play, The Transit of Venus. Friend and I did years and years and years of community theater, supporting it, going to see theater. Transit of Venus was a play, and we argue about what the worst play we ever saw was. My vote is The Transit of Venus, and her choice is Lady Windermere's Fan. Cows. So this is a plate from something, don't know what. And these are calendars. So interesting that a lot of the art that was happening, I guess, at the early part of the last century was coming from calendars and books and so forth. And so some of the things that I threw out were, large pictures of like a dog, generic, but they really liked it. And they backed it with cardboard, and then they wrapped it in like a cellophane to keep it good. Just interesting that they were using the supplies that they had at hand to decorate wherever the space was. And these clearly were kept for the same kind of thing. This one in particular, I really love. Is there stuff on? Yes, there is stuff on the back. So Newsmakers of 1932. Wow. There's Eleanor Roosevelt. She is called Mrs. Franklin D. Roosevelt. Babe Ruth. Mahatma Gandhi. Greta Garbo. There we are. And then some more portraits of beautiful cattle. And then another one this way. The Holstein Friesian. The cow and the bull. And this is another plate from Fish Market, Toronto. Toronto has changed. This is by W.H. Bartlett, 1809, 1854. And this is another piece, another art that's art original. No idea. B. Anthonage, don't know. Well rendered, beautiful color choices. Pulled apart a book that was dying, and so we've got some book bits. How to See Paris for the Soldiers of the Allied Armies. This is probably the 1940s, I'm going to say, ish. Or just some interesting information, and then lots of black and white pictures of the things to see in Paris. Just I'm having a quick look around for the date and don't see one. But certainly Soldiers of the Allies would certainly put it in the 1940s. And this is some more art. Another page that was torn from a book. And more pages torn from books. That's all attached. This is an architecture book, I think. And oldie old old. Oldie old old. So there we are. So that's that. Don't need one of these for a while, I'll tell you that. It'll be a while for me to go through these and figure out what I should do with them. There we are. I'm just going to get this out of the way, and I have one last thing to do a catch up on, and that is we're getting close to July, and I think I'm going to be participating in the Junk Journal July. Junk Journal July is hosted by Meg at Meg Journals. She is going to have a video every single day hosted by one of, I think it's 31 journalers that are sort of larger names in the community, going through whichever one this is. This is her 10th year. Oh my goodness. And so she has done a curation of everything in the last 9 years, and she's put them in here. And so I have a small one for a journal, and then this is the one that I'll be using as we go through that. So that's something to look forward to for July. And maybe when I get my coffee journal finished, I will either just do this for July, give myself a bit of a palette clean, or we'll see what we do. That's just what I'm going to say. We'll see what we do. Anyways, that's, I think, all for now. The other piece of information, some of you may know that I have an executive producer who is Lucy the cat. She unfortunately passed away in April, and I have got a new executive producer now, and her name is Gracie. And so I will introduce you to Gracie from time to time, but I think she's going to be an amazing executive producer of this show, and she will put her paws in wherever she needs to be able to make sure that I stay on the straight and narrow. Anyways, that is all for now. I am going to be doing some gluing. That's going to be my first order of business once I turn the cameras off and get back on the coffee journal wagon. I guess that's what it is. And we'll see you real soon. Bye now.